swimmers, Celeste from Triathlon Skills and Simple Swims. There's part about talking about the breathing. I know that it's always a challenge for everybody. Again, you know, swimmers bring this up, that they're really good with their swimming. They can swim a length of the pool, and you know, then they're kind of gassed because they didn't get enough oxygen. They have to stop and rest. Okay, so I'm taking you through a series that I use when I'm teaching. I'll also use this process to work on their uncomfortable side breathing. So if you're only breathing to the right side and you want to learn how to breathe to the left, you can also use these steps for that too. Okay? So the first part that I've introduced in part 1 of breathing, okay, you can follow that link here, okay, is to take 3 strokes and then roll onto your back and take 3 breaths. Take that hand crossing your body and then starting with the triangle to get into the next stroke, okay? So it doesn't have to be 3 strokes and 3 breaths, okay? If you feel like you need air after 2 strokes, then you can take 2 strokes. If you want to be practicing breathing to the left and to the right, what I would suggest is going down the pool, taking 2 strokes, rolling up and getting your 3 breaths, and then rolling back down, taking 2 more. So practice in one direction of the pool, breathing to the left, and then on the next cycle, practice breathing to the right. Okay, so it's not carved in stone, but it would really encourage you to take those 3 breaths, because now your next step, as that gets a little more comfortable, is to take your 2 or 3 strokes and then roll up and take 2 breaths. Okay, get more comfortable with rolling up and taking those 2 breaths. Now, part of this break of taking the breath is to be able to get yourself a little more oriented with your posture and your position in the pool. When you're on your back, you want to be breathing in through your mouth and out through your nose, okay? Your next step is 3 strokes and then 1 breath. So you've got that slow reduction of taking your 2 or 3 strokes, rolling up, taking 3 breaths, swim the length of the pool, get a little more comfortable with that, take your 2 or 3 strokes, roll up, take 2 breaths, okay, get more comfortable with that, and then take those 3 strokes or 2 strokes, roll up and take 1 breath. Okay, now keys are going to be that you are starting with that triangle and you've got that hand turned over. So when you get down to taking that one, your arm and hand are in position to come up. Get a quick inhale because you've exhaled completely under the water. You can be smooth but quick and in position to keep going. Really fluid. Then the last thing you're going to do is go back and repeat it. So go back to 3 strokes, 3 breaths. Okay? Swim a length or 2, 3 strokes, 2 breaths, 3 strokes, 1 breath, or even 3 strokes and that little sip of air. Don't rush it, take your time, and let's see what happens. Okay, so you're getting to see some different people doing the 3 strokes and the 3 breaths in that process of elimination. Well, what happens if you roll up and you're still under the water and you're just looking at the surface of the water? So I'm going to give you 4 tips to practice. So if you find yourself still under the water, okay? Number 1 is if you're rolling up and you're still under the water, just stop and stand up and start the process over again, okay? Second thing is if you roll up and your arm is up a little higher, okay? So if you roll up and that arm is elevated and sticking up out of the water, you want to be able to bring that arm down and you might see yourself floating back up. So when something goes up, something else goes down. So you want to level that arm off, okay, that extended arm off, so that when you roll up, that you're not causing yourself to sink by having that arm stick up. Part of that might be some flexibility. So if you do it on the floor and you have a hard time getting that arm down to the floor and getting those ribs lifted up, okay, so you get that nice horizontal line, that might be something for you to work on, is to be able to get that arm down and have that nice straight line. Okay, so second thing is keeping that arm lower in the water, don't let it stick out. Okay, third step is to just plain old change into elementary. So if that arm is up, you find yourself staring at the underside of the water, take that arm, squeeze it down, do a couple of A modified elementary backstroke, just squeezing, get yourself leveled off again, extend that arm, and then get back into it, back into that triangle, and start the process again. Okay, fourth step is maybe don't exhale out so much. Okay, so if you're a lean, kind of heavily boned, muscular person, you may want to keep a little bit of air in, so don't be blowing out so much. And it could be that taking one stroke versus 3 strokes might be better for you. Now, I know some of these things firsthand, because I remember when I was practicing way back early 2000, practicing rolling up on my back, I'd be getting water up my nose, I'd be looking at the underside of the water, I'd be trying to get a bit more oriented as to where I was. I would roll up and I would be successful and be like, woohoo! And then the next time I'd roll up, I'd be under the water and I couldn't remember or know what it was that I did correctly. So you got to stay with it, keep that process going, and as your mind-body connection deepens, you'll be able to have better proprioception, better awareness, so things will just transition much easier, much smoother. So again, first step, stop and stand up. Second is make sure that arm is deep enough in the water. Third is go into a little bit of elementary to get yourself a little more lifted, by yourself some time, then get back into that swordfish and start again. And the fourth tip is to maybe keep a little more air in. So don't be exhaling out so much and so forcefully, but take it a little gentler and slower. So now I know what you're going through, but stay with it. It will work out, okay? And also, here's a little clip of me for some of you that, yes, I am a sinker also. So there's hope for you that this can also work for you. All right, check it out.